Hi, welcome to Crafted Sweetly. I'm Diana. Thanks so much for being here. You've seen lots of my videos with doing book art with regular size books. In this video, we're gonna do something a little different. So let's get to it. In this video, I will attempt to do the photo strip on the tiniest book ever. Right here. This is a little German book, and the size of it is 2 3/4 inches, which is about 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters. Believe it or not, this little tiny book has 161 pages. So I used the Google Sheets and created the pattern for it based on 2 3/4 inches. And if you haven't seen my videos previously, you can check. I have one how to create the pattern in Google Sheets, and this is right here 2 3/4 inches for the height. And then this way you can see I have it up to 161. Now by accident, this I would have fit 2 on each page to save number of pages. However, I wasn't quite sure how to get it to print to the next section to cut the picture in pieces, but it just so happened that it printed on the back side of it, which had the picture been any longer, it would have overlapped. I didn't realize my printer was gonna print double-sided, but it worked out well. I do have to cut this halfway, and as you can see, I have a column at the top and at the bottom so that I can cut across for the strips. So I'll start off with this one, and with this caterpillar, as you can see, it has a light here, which if I turn off right there, when I turn it on, I can see exactly where it's gonna cut right there. See, I can tell that if I go over this way, it's cutting over where the photo is. So it's easy to cut using the caterpillar because I'm not going to cut the image with the light. So there's the 1 through 39, then 41 through 79, and then same with these pages. I can just cut both of them at the same time in half. Now once I have these cut, I have to cut these into strips, just like any other of the other photo strip patterns. And the noise that you're hearing in the background is my dog trying to dig a hole in a seat. I'm not sure where she's trying to get, but she's digging pretty vigorously. Now you can cut using scissors if you'd like. It's pretty short, but I still will actually use this. I think, you know, with cutting with the scissors, I might, although you can't quite see you don't see the center part when you're cutting this way because it's really just the center part. But it might just be faster to cut it using the paper trimmer. So I can line up the 2 tick marks, the top and the bottom, on here, and then it just makes it easy for cutting. And just back and forth with this is pretty fast. You can score these ahead of time if you want. Because they're so short, I won't bother doing the score lines. I have done a couple videos where I show that you're actually scoring these before cutting them. But I won't do it for this one. So let me set this aside. So I have these strips right here. And that book is so tiny, I almost misplaced it. Here it is. Okay, now we're gonna start on page 1. Now I have a book full holder that you can use. This, I'd have to create a new book holder for a miniature book to do something like that with. But for this, I may just use something like this to hold the pages down. So the bottom cutting is right along the green edge. And the top is gonna be where the line is. And then this gets folded in half. Now I've seen a couple of comments about how do you fold this in half. I'll kind of, let me do that again just to show you real quick. I mean, it's just folding a strip in half. I know it sounds simple, but if anybody's having an issue, I get the two corners started here, matching up, and then I don't press like from here, try and press down, because then it might go uneven. And then I kind of slowly press it, so as you can see, it doesn't have a hard crease mark yet, but I want to make sure that they're lined up all the way down here. And then once it is, I press a little harder. Now if this had a score line, then it would be much easier. And then you can go down with a bone folder if you really wanted to, like this, just to make sure that you have a crisp fold. Now that was strip number 2 before I mixed them up. So now it's applying it on here. So I'm gonna add double-sided tape, and I use one of these. I think anything else is gonna be a little harder to do it. So I'm just gonna apply the strip all the way to the bottom. Whoops, all the way to the end. Open this up. My first page, which I tore a little tiny corner off, but you won't be able to see that once I'm done. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's flush here, and then the strip is all the way against the edge of the book. Okay, flush this way and press it in. Oops. Might need tweezers by the end here. Okay, and I have the fold all the way in. Now let me do one more real quick here. So what I'll do is this, when I pulled up, it tended to pull this corner up. The page is rather frail, so what I'll do is I'm going to do this way half, and then come this way for the other half, just so I don't rip the page. And where did I do the other one? Here we go. Again, I have it all the way against the edge of the page. And when you look at these, you can't quite see what it is, as with all the other pages. But once everything comes together, this extra, you'll see the design. Alright, so I will proceed with some additional strips. And I see that I glued number 5 on there. So that's what happens when you trim off the piece you don't want. But no worries, just gentle removal. So you can, right there, took that off. So that was number 5. As you can see, I have the tabs that I cut off. So 3 would be next. I was concentrating too much on trying to show you how to fold a strip in half. So we'll do number 3, and my 5 is already folded, so we'll glue that on. So that's the nice thing with this photo strip. There is no, you can pretty much go with any size book. This tiny little thing may take me just as long as a huge book, just because it's the pages are so tiny. Okay, so that's 3 pages. I can't wait till this is done. This is gonna be the cutest little tiny book ever. So I'll do a couple more here, and then switch off camera as I usually do. Might take me a couple days. I'll do half the book, kind of check in and show you where I'm at. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button. I do a lot of book folding videos, but then sometimes, just as all the crafters out there kind of start another project or want to try something else, so I tinker in all kinds of different crafts. And don't forget to post your own photos of projects you do in my Facebook group. I would love to see what you create. I will proceed off camera with some of the other pages carrying on, and then, like I said, I'll check in about halfway through and show you where things stand. And just to give you a reference point for this, this is an SD card that I have, and here is the size of the book. Pretty tiny. So I wanted to show you the progress thus far, and this is what it looks like so far. And then, believe it or not, I still have 80 more pages to go with the photo strips. And then I'll check back in and show you what it looks like so far. But how cute is that? And there's it from the top. So the only thing is you have to be careful that the pages don't nest inside of each other, just like with the other project. So really this is no different. It is a little more tedious, maybe, I guess. It's just a little harder to manage the little strips and glue them and put the double-sided tape. But okay, now I've completed the book, and that's the top version of it. And then if looking at the side, there it is. So now it's a little poofy. You can tie this if you choose to keep it more together. Both ways, I think it looks great. And this shows you that really you can do any height book to create this photo book art. And on some of these you'll see that same thing can happen as it does with your other books, where these kind of nest within each other. But just double check if you choose to add something. You could even just add a little bit of cardstock at the bottom without having to add ribbon, and that way you're gluing this all to the same open, you know, the same aperture basically. Hope you enjoyed this cute little video, no pun intended. If you have any questions, please comment below. Would love to see your mini book art in my Facebook group, so join there. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next project.